What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Strangers Minds. I'm Fernando, and today we're gonna keep on with creepcaught, the most disturbing clips ever found online. I forgot to mention, but this is a 2 hour video, so I'm gonna break it up into different parts and just go through the whole video and have more content for you guys as far as my playlist is concerned. Disturbing things on the net. So, with the last episode, we definitely saw some stuff that is unexplainable. Let's see what else Creepcaught has in store for us. Let's go.
Paris Hilton recently shared a creepy experience happening at her Beverly Hills mansion. She's grown concerned after her 2-year-old son, Phoenix, started saying he sees ghosts around the house.
Where?
Ghost. This is Mama's room.
What's Mama's room?
Mama's room.
The creepy moment shook Hilton, who captioned her post with a mix of humor and nerves. She admitted it was both cute and scary, and even joked that maybe it was time to start thinking about moving.
Indoor. Ghost indoor.
Where?
Ghost in this door.
In this door?
The hotel heiress opened up to other moms, looking for stories of similar experiences to feel a little more reassured and maybe learn more about what's going on. Her honest post sparked a wave of responses from parents sharing their spooky moments involving kids and unseen presences. This isn't Paris Hilton's first run-in with the paranormal either. She's previously talked about strange things happening at her grandmother's house, like seeing a crown float across the room. She also recalled a chilling moment during an Ouija board session where a crayon started levitating. Something she swore she'd never mess with again. Whether her current situation is a legit paranormal activity or just a toddler's wild imagination, one thing's for sure, her home has become the focus of some serious curiosity.
My thing is, first off, damn, I didn't know that Paris Hilton was going through some paranormal activity, but that's, not, it doesn't matter who you are. Paranormal activity will occur whenever, however it wants. So, with that being said, again, I believe in videos with children. Yes, they have a wild imagination, but that is very specific to be afraid unless the child was already introduced to ghost things, paranormal stuff. That's hard to believe. That would be very careless for a parent to introduce their toddler to paranormal stuff. I say, but that is interesting because I would always believe my kids if they was to come up to me, especially as a baby, if they was to ever come up to me and be like, I'm seeing something, I'm gonna check it out because we have to, make our kids feel safe where they live and where they sleep. You don't want to just shrug it off and just have the kid just feeling like, oh, my parents don't listen to me. That's the wrong way to deal with that situation. So, yes, man, Paris Hilton, geez, I would definitely say to, you have the reach to get in contact with pretty much any paranormal investigating team out there, due to your fame. um I will definitely get somebody in there and investigate and find out what's going on, hopefully help the situation, because a lot of people feel like the best way to escape the situation would be to move. Not everybody has the luxury or the money to just move out of a house because of paranormal activity. Sometimes you have to face it and try and solve this situation. You know, you're not always going to keep on running, especially if it's not the house and it's just an attachment to you. Now, the kid didn't seem like they were, you know, distraught or scared out of their minds, but they are experiencing something. So, as a child being involved in the paranormal activity, it will be priority to a real paranormal team.
A woman from Michigan claims that strange and unexplained events have recently been occurring around her home. She says the disturbances have become so unsettling that even her loyal dog, Gunther, has started to react with visible distress.
Okay, I'm so crazy, right? Here you go. Baby is terrified. Hold on. I know. You're okay. You're okay. I know. God, I'm like shaking.
The woman believes the strange poltergeist activity began after she bought an antique necklace at an estate sale. She says she has since gotten rid of the necklace. Early one
So the dog actually made this video possible because you know, the way she had this camera set up, you don't really see the floor, and she doesn't really even investigate really. So, you know, who's not to say it was somebody doing that to the door? Um, but the dog made this video. The dog seemed like it was legitimately disturbed, afraid. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. I got a red flag with her setting up the camera just so she could do dishes. Damn, the priorities of a woman, right? Paranormal activity is going on. Potential poltergeist activity. The door is slamming. You hear knocking, and everything's just going crazy. I gotta do dishes. I don't know. That's a red flag to me. Let's keep it going.
morning, a homeowner living in a remote area caught something unusual on camera right outside their front door.
It's outside. What the? Too scared to open my door.
Seen through the frosted glass, a small figure stands eerily still, almost like it's waiting for something. Even the dogs inside the house seem to sense something's wrong and start barking. Strangely, the figure doesn't just walk away, it seems to vanish, almost like it faded into thin air. Now people are left asking, was it just a wild animal or something much creepier? For the
I mean, honestly, that could have been pretty much anything that is knee height. You know, it's not, we cannot just jump into the conclusion that it was paranormal activity. It could have been an animal, how creepcaught said, you know, just standing by the door, which is why all the animal, you know, dogs were attentive because they were smelling it. Or it was creep trying to be creepy, trying to see through the window. You know, people be careful out there. Not everything is paranormal activity, but there are creepos out there that would definitely try and peek through a window, especially if they know that there is a woman alone in a house and they just been scouting and they were trying to do the creepo. So yeah, be careful, guys.
past few years, a guy named Josh has been keeping track of some seriously creepy paranormal stuff happening in his house. He set up surveillance cameras all over the place, hoping to catch solid proof of whatever he believes is following him. The weird activity has included everything from furniture moving on its own in the middle of the night to shadowy figures silently gliding across the walls. Eventually, he captured something on camera that confirmed his worst fears. In the pitch-dark silence of his basement, an invisible force made its presence eerily known. One by one, objects started falling for no apparent reason. First a small tree, then a doll, and finally a potted plant. There was no wind, no tremor, nothing to explain it. Suddenly, the air seemed to change as glowing orbs began drifting slowly through the room. But things got even more unsettling a few weeks later, when Josh was nearly knocked out of his chair after hearing a chilling sound captured in his kitchen. The room was completely still, with nothing in motion. Yet, out of nowhere, a haunting laugh echoed through the space, though no one was there to make it. The voice had an unsettling feminine tone, gentle yet deeply eerie, but Josh was completely alone in the house when it was captured. Covered in goosebumps, he tried to make sense of what he had just heard. However, things only grew more intense, and what his camera caught next left him utterly speechless.
All right, guys, before I just start losing my train of thought because of everything going on. So the first scene that you're seeing this like what seems to be like just a living room, right? Actually, right over here. Yeah, that's the pot, that's the tree that fell, that's the fan, the oddly empty shelf, and the television. Notice that everything was being kind of pulled towards one direction. So I'm just saying, I could be wrong, but due to everything being pulled to one direction, the plant, the tree, the plant up here, and the doll that was in that corner, um, it could have been pulled by strings. Just saying. Second, I question what is the thought process of somebody setting up a camera to record nothing? This dude had the camera facing like like very close up to a wall, the cabinets and the fridge. Just some advice for people that are experiencing paranormal activity. You need to set the camera up in a position where there is nothing behind it and is catching an array of space, not just the wall, not just the corner, an array of space. Put it in a corner, high in an angle, pointing down. That is the best place to put a camera if you want to capture paranormal activity, or not even. Let's take the paranormal out of this aspect. If you're trying to just be safe and have a security camera, like what is it going to really record if it's facing a wall, right? Like, what is the thought process here? Let's see what happens next, because right now this is all fake to me.
The unmistakable sound of footsteps echoed from the basement, loud, deliberate, and deeply unnerving. Each heavy thud sounded as if someone, or something, was walking straight through the room. As Josh replayed the recording, it became clear that the eerie voice hadn't said its last word. Just outside his bathroom, the camera captured something truly unsettling, a raspy, menacing voice whispering directly into the microphone. Though the words were muffled and hard to make out, it spoke in full sentences, and the tone alone was enough to send chills racing down Josh's spine. He thought he had already witnessed the worst, but he had no idea what was coming next.
Jesus Christ, this guy's really putting in the work. Keep creep caught. I mean, thank you, bro. Thank you for your content. So once again, all of that, it's freaking like Bluetooth to me. Having a speaker, possibly not even footsteps. It was in a basement. That was the first thing. As soon as I saw the layout of the steps, a couple of steps going down, he's in a basement. Who's not to say if you want to fake phantom footsteps, put a camera in the basement, walk with, you know, boots or shoes or high heels or whatever, and just walk around. First floor, just walk around. You're gonna get the same exact thing. I've always said this time and time again. We are concentrating on what we're seeing from the camera point of view, but anything could be happening elsewhere. Who's not to say there's somebody just walking around and it's just all of these camera angles don't make no sense to me. This is like even this. I don't know. If you're setting up cameras for security purposes and you just so happen to catch paranormal activity, the camera angle will be different. Now, if you know your house is haunted and you're trying to capture paranormal activity, you have to go, you're going about it the wrong way. Because right now, out of all of the camera views that we've seen, all 5 clips of everywhere else, why is this the worst camera? Let's see what happens. It is the worst camera quality now. And is it me?
One evening around 8 p.m.
Is it me or is the camera moving? I don't know. I'm done with this video already. This particular clip, I can't wait to see what else creepcaught has.
Josh's kitchen camera recorded a chilling sight. A dark, shadowy figure moved slowly across the room. Its silhouette was clearly human, but its identity was impossible to determine. Moments after it vanished to the right, a glowing light drifted past the cabinets, almost as if something was trailing behind it. The unsettling footage left Josh deeply disturbed and uncertain if his home was still a safe place to be. This video was captured by a stationary camera at a family's summer home.
Okay, so it's another story. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's using another different camera, I guess, for the last clip. That could have, due to the poor quality of that camera, it could have been somebody in a robe. Those robes with the hoodies, and they're just walking across the kitchen. I mean, it could have been anything. But I do not believe none of it. And for those who are trying to capture paranormal activity, wider view, take more space, more of an angle, better quality. And yeah, because if you need help, I mean, dare I say that even a cell phone has a better quality than that last camera. I'm just saying.
A few weeks before, their beloved dog had passed away, a loyal companion who always slept in the same peaceful corner of the living room. One night, while her husband was looking through old photos of the dog, she got a motion alert from the security camera at the summer house, right where the pup used to sleep. When she checked the footage, what she saw left her speechless. A glowing orb, often thought by those in the paranormal community to be a sign of a spirit, can be seen drifting through the room. The video was shared by Instagram user Fabiana Sanchez Rest, who believes the orb is the spirit of her beloved dog coming back to visit. In May 2000,
You know what? I'm not a big fan of orb videos just because within the paranormal community, we feel like depending on how close anything is to the lens, that could have been a bug, that could have been a speck of dust, if there was any draft going on. But I have to say, I did like this. I just didn't like that cut. Like I would like to see the full clip through and through the whole frame, but there was a cut in the video. Maybe because the supposed orb moved out of the way, and I came back an hour later, possibly. But all I'm saying is that it's unfortunately with night vision, it has this light spectrum that would uh if it's an insect, it's going to shine. It's going to shine like an orb. That's why people don't really like orb photos or videos. But at the same time, I did like how it was kind of illuminating the background. That is pretty interesting. But then again, I could be wrong. It could just be a insect.
2025, several videos started popping up online from different people near the High River in Colorado. The clips seem to show a strange creature that looks a lot like the legendary Bigfoot, tall, covered in hair, and moving through the forest.
That's really funny.
Eyewitnesses said the figure was unusually big and surprisingly quick, which got people buzzing with excitement and sparking tons of speculation online.
We come in peace. We come in
I
peace.
can't zoom in any more than this.
Still, plenty of people online think it's nothing more than a guy in a fuzzy brown suit chasing TikTok fame. What do you think? A real Bigfoot sighting or just another viral stunt for the views?
My red flag here was the girl saying we come in peace, we come in peace. Was she talking to the supposed Bigfoot? Because if the guy is zooming in all the way and can't zoom anymore, then, I guess depending on the camera. But the girl was kind of standing next to him saying it pretty low. I highly doubt Bigfoot her. But yeah, it kind of, something store bought, dare I say. We do. If you guys don't know, I am part of a podcast called The Shadow Files, and we do have guests. And one of our guests is Ray Doherty, a Yowie expert out in Australia. We had an interview with him, and he's pretty much, very consistent with us. He's a good friend, and he's very happy to share his findings, his experiments, and everything he's gone through. If anything, go to the Shadow Files, find out, see for yourself. There's like 2 videos, and also Static Echoes. It's a paracast. It's not a video podcast. It's something that you could turn on and just listen while you're driving to work or taking a shower. Taking a shower. I don't know, but yeah, Ray Doherty. Shout out to Ray Doherty, and he'll definitely tell you whether or not this was BS.
Man, proud of the custom headlights he had just installed on his vehicle, excitedly grabbed his phone to show them off online. Curious viewers began asking how the lights performed in complete darkness. Eager to demonstrate, he got into his car and drove deep into a secluded forest, far from any streetlights or homes, ready to showcase their power. But instead of capturing a bright display, his camera recorded something far more disturbing than he ever anticipated.
The lights are definitely functional, but unfortunately I live in a city and there are street lights everywhere. But I can find a place to go test them. Okay, I found some really dark woods. I just put some tinfoil over the reverse lights. So I'm going to show you what the stock reverse lights look like, and then I'm going to uncover them and show you what the added reverse lights look like. These are the stock reverse lights. And these are the ones I just installed. Look how friggin' bright that is. This is amazing. Yeah, so these are not just for looks.
I've actually saw this video.
A pale, lifeless arm was seen gripping the trunk of a tree. The truly chilling part is trying to decide what would be more terrifying, coming face to face with a real person silently lurking in the shadows, or stumbling upon something supernatural. A guy went out on a...
So what I like about this video is that, obviously it could all just be an act, and that was his, girlfriend or whatever, trying to go viral. But the video wasn't about paranormal caught on tape. He was just showing off according to the story, and it's the stories that I've always seen, because I've seen his video plenty of times, and it's always the same thing. The guy's just talking about and trying to show how good his headlights are from the car, so it has nothing to do with the paranormal, but he caught something. Now, whether or not you believe in that, it is completely your opinion, but I would like to hear it. Leave it in the comment section.
solo camping trip into the wilderness. After it got dark, he was suddenly woken up by some creepy noises right outside his tent. The sounds just kept going, getting louder and more intense. Holding his phone tight, he unzipped the tent and stepped out into the dark to see what was going on. At first, everything seemed still until he heard something right above him, and what he saw next nearly stopped his heart. Up in the trees, a pair of glowing eyes stared down at him. At first, he figured it was just some animal, but when the footage was brightened and zoomed in, things got way creepier. A pale, human-like face was just silently watching him. The man swears it couldn't have been a person. No one could have climbed that high or stayed so still up there. And the sounds it made? Low, twisted noises that didn't sound like any animal or human he'd ever heard. It sent chills down his spine. So the question is, what was up there in the trees? In June,
Did you guys notice that there was, yes, it does look like a head with, light eyes, but there were also light s- eyes behind the bushes or the trees. So who's not to say that was just something there, because it didn't blink, it didn't move. It was just, just there. So I'm not saying it's just, something explainable and you just so happy to catch it. But there were other sparkly things going on in the background, but with the movement of the camera and you'll see it almost like if it's like in and out just because it's going behind whatever it's in front of. But those two beady eyes, the sideways look and everything, it was too stationary for me to be like, you know what, that's a cryptid or that is, paranormal. Can't say that. But with that being said, you guys, we're going to end the video right here. We will continue on because there is still, geez, like an hour and a half of this for Creep Caught most disturbing clips ever found online. So far, I'm liking the content, and there is a lot of different varieties of content. We got ring door cameras, we got criminals, we got paranormal, we got just what we just saw though. If it is a cryptid, but it has a variety of things that I like, and I'm enjoying myself showing it to you guys. So with that being said, I will put Creep Call information in the description section so you guys can see this video without my commentary, and just follow him and do what you do when you like a video. Hit that like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys on the next. Peace.